Hello and welcome. My name is Sam and I am a consultant at Childminding UK. We are a registered charity that provides information, resources, training and support for pre-registered and registered childminders. Today I'll be talking about the relevant costs associated with registering with Ofsted and the initial costs of opening up your new childminding business. The cost of becoming a childminder will vary slightly from person to person. For example, someone with existing qualifications may only need to complete minimal training to become a childminder. People who already have lots of toys and equipment may need to spend less to set up their childminding business than someone who doesn't. This video will take you through all the things you will need to have and their appropriate costs so that you can work out what you would need and an idea of how much it was going to cost you. At the time of recording, there was a grant about to open in the autumn 2023 that aims to support with startup costs. However, if that has closed and if there are no other grants available, make sure that you keep your receipts for everything that you purchase as you get ready to launch your business, as you'll be able to add them as expenses for tax purposes once you are registered. Disclosure and barring service checks. You require an enhanced disclosure, which is the most in-depth check that is possible to do on a person. You, as a registered childminder, and anyone else over the age of 16 who lives in or works in your home will need to have a DBS, which are around £40. The update service is an optional service that Ofsted strongly recommends that you also book for each person for the first year. This costs £13 per person and keeps your DBS checks live because it means that with your permission, Ofsted can revisit the DBS for an update on your suitability. The reason that this is recommended is that Ofsted only accept DBS checks that are 3 months old or less, and if your Ofsted registration takes longer than 3 months, your DBS check could run out, meaning that you need to book and pay for new ones. We recommend that you apply for your DBS checks first, as they will take a few weeks to come back, and in that time you can be starting the training that you need to complete. You may already hold a DBS, but you require one that has gone through the Capita website and that states home based on it. Ofsted won't accept DBS checks from other companies. The correct link to use is on our Becoming a Childminder webpage. Pediatric first aid training. A full 12-hour paediatric course is needed to become a childminder. You can choose either to attend a course for 12 hours face-to-face or a blended course where you complete 6 hours online before attending for the 6 hours practical session. Approximate costs will be between £65 and £120 depending on the first aid provider and the area of the country that you live in. Annex A of the EYFS clearly states the content that must be included in your first aid training, and your first aid provider will know if their course is suitable. Childminding UK offer blended paediatric first aid training for our members with Tiger Lily training in some locations in England. If you will be working with a childminding assistant, they must also have a full first aid course if they're going to have any unsupervised access to your minded children. Childcare training. The training that you will need depends on the age of the children that you'll be childminding, so you need to decide on this before you book your training. There are 2 groups of children that you can register to care for. Ofsted describe children that are aged between birth and the 31st of August after their 5th birthday as young children, and children aged between the September the 1st after their 5th birthday until their 8th birthday as school-aged children. They also refer to children over the ages of 8 as school-aged children, but they are classed as a distinct group depending on the register that you are going to apply for. You can find out more about this on our website or on the Ofsted web pages relating to the Childcare register. Most childminders are registered to care for children from birth to the end of the reception year and school-aged children, but you can register to just care for young children or to just care for school-aged children over 5, so from year 1 of school. If you are caring for young children, you must have completed training which helps you to understand and implement the EYFS. So as an example, our introductory training has been developed specifically to cover the needs of anyone registering on the early years register. If you are caring for school-aged children only, your training must either be a suitable qualification or be Common Core training, which you can find out more about on our website. There's no requirement to complete any specific training course or to complete a course that is approved by your local authority. You are free to choose the training that you complete as long as it meets the requirements for the EYFS or Common Core, then Ofsted will accept it. Our introductory course costs £145 and the Common Core course is £110, but you will only need to complete the one that is relevant to the age of the children that you are working with. So for example, the introductory course covers young children through to the age of 12, and the Common Core training is relevant if you are only going to work with children in year 1 and above, or before and after school care, or through the holidays. Our introductory course consists of 5 modules and the Common Course has 4. Each module will take you around 3 hours to complete. There are no assignments or exams, but there is a multiple choice questionnaire test at the end of each module. There is no limit to the number of times you can complete this in order to pass, and you are able to dip in and out of the learning as often as you need to. Childminding UK training are CPD accredited and Ofsted recognised. All training is written by our consultants and everyone in the team have all run childminding businesses. We believe childminding is a unique role and your training needs to be written with that in mind. You may already hold a childcare qualification and therefore may not need to do any additional training, or you may just need to complete some training. Qualifications must be full and relevant means that they are not out of date. For those caring for young children, they must include the EYFS, and this means that qualifications must be dated after 2008. If you do already hold a childcare qualification, you may choose to update your knowledge or fill in some gaps that you may have. All the modules that are covered in our introductory training course are available separately, and these are the ones that you may need to complete. You may need to refresh your safeguarding training, especially as it needs to be covered every couple of years. Childminding UK's safeguarding module covers everything that childminders need to know about the role of the designated safeguarding lead, and it is available in our shop. The leading and managing a childminding setting training module covers specific information to childminders relating to running your business that isn't included in qualifications, so we recommend that you do this regardless of when you have achieved your qualification. If your qualification was achieved before 2008, or if you haven't worked much recently within the early years sector, you will need to complete training in the EYFS, and the Understanding and Working with the EYFS module will cover that. You will also need the first aid qualification that I have already mentioned. The health declaration form is part of the Ofsted registration process. You can find the link to the form on our Becoming a Childminder webpage. You do not need to make an appointment with your GP and you don't need a medical check. This is just a paper exercise. Simply complete the first 2 parts and take it to your GP surgery where they will complete the rest. They will then let you know when it's ready to collect and forward to Ofsted, or you can ask them to post it when it's complete. The choice is yours. You can of course read it if you collect it yourself. There'll be a charge for this of between £20 and approximately £100. Each GP surgery will decide on what they will charge. The Ofsted application fee is paid when you apply to be a childminder, and then it turns into an annual fee once you are registered. It costs £35 to register on the early years register, so if you are looking after young children, and £103 to register on the childcare register, relevant if you are looking after children over 5. As I've already mentioned, you are also able to register on both registers for just £35. We've covered the variety of costs that are associated with the registration process, and we are now going to cover costs that are linked with running the business, some of which may need to be paid for prior to or very shortly after becoming a registered childminder. Depending on the age of the children that you care for and any equipment that you may already have in place, the safety equipment that you need to buy may vary. All providers are expected to risk assess each area of their home and garden if they have one and decide on what measures to take to reduce risks. These will be very different for childminders than for big purpose-built day nurseries or schools. You will be expected to discuss relevant elements of your risk assessment during your registration visit, so you might find it useful to have any equipment related to, for example, fire, prior to the visit. Although in theory what you provide is up to you, when it comes to fire detection and control equipment, you will need smoke alarms, at least one on each level of your home to alert you in the case of fire. The EYFS also mentions fire alarms, fire blankets and/or fire extinguishers, but you probably won't need to buy all of these. We recommend that you buy a fire blanket as these are useful for putting over small fires or for wrapping around a child whose clothing is on fire. For fires that are bigger than can be managed with a fire blanket, your risk assessment may say it's safer to get out and ring the fire service. You will need to have a first aid kit available at all times, and this means it is practical to have a larger one at home and a smaller travel one for outings. Logistical items like stair gates, cupboard locks, etc. will depend on you as a childminder and what your risk assessment deems important. For example, are you planning on teaching the children that they don't open the cupboards, or are they just not going to be able to be opened and secured with a lock? So again, some of the costs on this screen you will need before you register and some when you start childminding. Toys and equipment. It is impossible for us to tell you the costs of this. It depends on what you already have, the ages and numbers of children you'll be caring for. For example, you may or may not need a double buggy, high chairs, car seats for example, but you may need to buy lots of toys or craft items or activities, or you may have enough of this to start with, and then you would add to it as you know what the children in your care need and what they like to do and their developmental levels. Ofsted will expect you to know what you need, but at your registration visit you don't need to have everything in place, just the knowledge of what you will provide. You must have the basics though, so that you can start working as a childminder. Changes to your home and garden. You may need to make some changes to your home and garden, such as put up or renew garden fences and gates, or fence off ponds for example. These costs vary as to what you need to do and also if you can do the work yourself or if you need a trade-in to do it for you. Public liability insurance needs to be in place as soon as you begin childminding, and it needs to be renewed every year. You will need specific insurance for childminders, and you can find more information on this on our website. If you use a car to transport minded children, you will need to add business use to your car insurance. Many insurance companies will add this for free for you. If your insurance company wants to charge you a lot for this, it may be worth looking to change your insurance company. If you don't let them know, you will invalidate your insurance and won't be able to claim. You should also let your home insurance company know that you are childminding, and some policies don't let you have accidental cover if you are a childminder. Again, this may be free or they may want to charge you extra. If you don't let them know, you will invalidate your insurance and you won't be able to claim. You will need to produce your policies and procedures, for example, or use ready-made ones that you can adapt to meet the needs of your business. Take a look at our website for a comprehensive list of all the different policies that you may need. You can buy ready-made ones as a pack or a comprehensive guidance pack to produce your own. The website is also filled with a host of other business resources. Joining Childminding UK as a member gives you access to all the downloadable resources that we have available, including policies, registers, risk assessments and risk benefits, parent contracts, child records and development records, etc. It also gives you a series of online learning modules including food hygiene and nutrition, and unlimited support from our small and friendly team by email or phone. You can get discounts on public liability insurance and things such as family holidays. Annual membership is £90, but those who complete one of our introductory training courses can buy their first year's membership for just £70. There is also a monthly option of buying an annual membership, but then splitting the payments and paying £9 a month rather than the one-off payment. I do hope this information has been helpful to you. There is lots more information on our Becoming a Childminder webpage, and you are also welcome to contact us with any questions that you may have related to becoming a childminder or running your business after registration. Our team are always happy to help, but if you want something more dedicated, we also offer online consultations, which are £30, consisting of a dedicated Zoom call for around an hour and a follow-up report. These consultations are built to meet your needs so that we can tailor it very specifically to you. It may cover the process to become a childminder, what to expect at the registration visit, managing the risk assessment process and so on. You can find out more about the consultations on our website. And do feel free to look at our other YouTube videos for more information about becoming and being a childminder.